Looks like we're looking at a major fight in progress now as the Anaconda forces have put down Keepstar. Fraternity Alliance actually put it down. They're the usual droppers of structures for that coalition. This is an NPC Delve FWST-8. This is a good strategic position for Keepstar as it has extensive range into Delve. So this is a critical fight for the Anaconda forces. Defensively, it's very important for the Imperium as well. This is the initial timer, which means when it was dropped just after downtime, it was located and engaged, which froze the progress of that structure to actually anchor or to fall into an invulnerability cycle for 24 hours. From what we understand, there are Goonswarm fleets in there with dreadnoughts attacking the structure, and keeping it from reaching an invulnerability phase. They have been counter-dropped by Anaconda forces that are much greater and have super carriers and a handful of Titans in there from Northern Coalition. Let's go to caps. You're seeing explosions. There's one on the right there. I'll try to get you in closer for a closer look. At this point, we're just looking at capital ships. These are the bigger ones. Here are the avatars from Northern Coalition, it looks like. Take a closer look. Now, these are not tethered. They are in full combat. Make some adjustments here to the screen. Give me some time here. We've been tracking this for approximately 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It's an avatar off in the distance there. These ships are so big you can't see these little fragments of imagery are actually other capital ships. So you can understand the scale of these things. And in comparison to real life, these avatars are as big as Manhattan. I'll try to get you more information as it comes in. Again, we have dreadnoughts mostly being eliminated right now that belong to the Imperium. Right now, at this very moment, it looks like the Anaconda Coalition is really put in more and bigger ships. And this is, again, a critical strategic objective for them. So they're going all in. You see another explosion in the background, another two. But they have super carriers. I saw some Aeons in there. And you're looking at Titans, but only a handful from mostly Northern Coalition. This system is within jump range of PTAC-Z, which has the combined super capital fleet for the coalition. Let's see what else is jumping in, jumping out. It's a sinusoidal field. Looks like a dread just came in. Oops, that's a bad sign. Looks like he jumped out. So our camera flipped back. We'll get you footage here in a second. You see the proximity, that's the gate over there. But before we wander off to the gate, I want to take a look at what is shooting that Keepstar to hold it in. I think I'm going to need to jump to the gate. I'm working with very slow speed here, so it's taking a second to get. Okay, let's have a look again. Let's try that again. A quick look at what's looks like this dread here is taking fire. You can see these coming in. It's a revelation. We'll take a look at that one. That was unexpected. Again, looks like let me try to again lock into that. There we go. This dread is firing on the station. Those are the beams coming out of it, but it is also taking fire. By other dreads and subcapitals as well. There it is in relationship to the Keepstar. I'm looking at only capital ships now. I have them sorted by type. And you can see it's mostly a sea of blue, which is the Anaconda Coalition. That is not a favoritism move, or it's not an enemy or a foe. We just colored it that way because we asked initiative to pick red or blue, and they picked red at the beginning of the war. And it looks like the field is clearly dominated by blue, but there's definitely a big commitment by the Imperium here. All right, thanks for chatting in Twitch. So give me some information. This is FWST-8, not FTSE. I didn't let init decide necessarily. We agreed as an org once, because we had 3 camera at the beginning of this. Sorry, let me give you some context as far as the colors, or which side was blue, which side was red, which usually in this game denotes who your enemy is and who your ally is. But we pick that so that people can visualize how many are on either side. And the colors are not picked for favoritism, who we're friendly with or who we're not. It was decided by initiative. We had 3 cameramen at the beginning of this war, and we decided as a group to label everything the same. And that was decided early on. Something is why did initiative pick red? Or why did we go with that? It's kind of a courtesy to initiative. We thought we'd let them choose. I don't think they understood the significance of it, but there's more fire coming in on this dreadnought. It's probably going to start flaming and then explode. Pretty soon we saw like only 2 or 3 vectors of damage being applied. Now it looks like there's multiple from, you can see these streams of bullets. These are atomic powered charges from Minmatar ships. The lasers here are Marian. Red is scorched, I believe. Let me actually shut this down. Now, there's no timer on that Keepstar. I believe they need to remove all the damage from that Keepstar. I'm not sure if there's a threshold to keep it locked up, but it cannot anchor if it's being damaged in the first 15 minutes of it being put down. You have to be fast, you have to be alert to catch these things. There we go, we're starting to see the flames coming out of this revelation as the damage is reaching critical. The hull is being breached. You can see the explosions motivating the light all around it as it starts to turn yellow. And it is probably already dead, but we're seeing the animation tick away here. I'm going to jump over to this other ship because once this disappears, my camera will revert back. So I need to move to a different ship. Oof, that revelation is doing a flip on its last moments. Looks like the artillery is coming from a nag. I'm just going to go look at the nag. And that will give me a more permanent perspective. Yeah, you can see the revelation. Oh, it's so beautiful. The revelation's doing a flip there as it's getting destroyed. I've never really seen that. And this is all in slow motion. You can see this Naglfar is pounding what looks like a fax down here with those giant cannons. This is a test pilot from Bold, Fedora Katana. And there goes what looked like it's behind this wrecked avatar already, but it looked like it was some kind of a force auxiliary. Maybe we can have a look at this revelation still in the process of exploding. It looks like it flipped all the way over. It's now on its back. Yeah, there it goes. I think right now momentum belongs to the Anaconda coalition that is actually put down. There it goes. This Keepstar. The Keepstar is still frozen. It's in the process of anchoring. But we don't know how much Goonswarm or the Imperium will commit to this fight. It is a very important fight for Anaconda. This is a beachhead in Delve. It's not. You see twin explosions there from what looked like a fax and a dreadnought going essentially at the same time. This is why I didn't jump the camera over to that further target, because it looked like it was going to explode as well. And so that's why. Let me get you a better picture of that. Twin explosions there. You can see the shock waves are going to bump into each other. The blue ghost-like figure up here is actually, and you can see lights attached to it, is actually the anchoring keep star. So it is being attacked still. You can see by these what look like scorch. See if I can find where those are motivated from so I can go see what the Imperium's doing. This is a Naglfar. You just can't tell because it's not profiled properly. There you can see the shock waves are still moving from these capital ships that just exploded. There's the keep star. Down here, this is the big news is down here. There are Titans on the field, which we don't know if they're something of bait Titans or... Oh, looks like something's dropping in there. Let's go see if that is the Imperium dropping dreads inside of brawling range, or if it's reinforcements coming in for... Happy, we'll try to get our HUD up. So you see a lot of apostles here. A lot of force auxiliary, which are repair ships. Minakawa, apostle. Those are both for armor. And in there somewhere, you're going to see super capitals like this Aeon here, and probably Avatar. So let's see if I can just focus on one of them. This is a lot of Titans. I can add them up in just a second. We see bombs on the field. Let's see where those are. These are init bombs, shrapnel. More bombs. This could be deadly for smaller ships. If they're grouped up, it's possible. Mostly what it does is confuse logistics because everybody screams they're damaged and they need help at the same time. And that usually works. The logistics team, which is trying to repair ships as quickly as possible. Everybody's yelling for repairs at the same time. Looks like explosion off in the distance there. Try to get a look at these bombs, see where they're headed. I'm not able to trace them, so I will back the camera up and see if I can locate them visually. Just a little difficult. All right, this is going to hurt, but we'll turn on. I'm scanning. You see, there's a lot of movement down here that wasn't visible before because now you can see the subcapital. Sorry, yeah, the subcapital fleets are moving around. So down here you see a fleet arriving. This is Army of Mango. They are actually allied with Anaconda, so they essentially are blue in this fight. They are also Asian Pacific time zone. They are part of Legacy. So they may have really good numbers. It's a good time for them, and they are allying or getting near the Cerebus fleet, or these are Munins. Yeah, mostly Munins. These Munins, these are actually, oh, interesting. This is an interesting little sub fight here. Let's take a look at that. This is actually a Ranger Regiment and others, which are also Chinese alliances, but for the Imperium. It's a Harpy fleet, so that's why they're able to move a little faster. Smaller ships, Cerberus. And yeah, Munin Cerberus. Let me check what Otaxi is. Somebody know who Otaxi is? Not, I'll look it up. But you can see here's Army of Mango approaching. That looks intimidating. Oh, maybe it was the other way around, optical illusion. These have just arrived. They are Army of Mango, putting up a bubble, trying to catch these Munins and Cerberuses from taking off. Looks like they've already initiated. Oh, that's a good bubble. If these guys are not already in warp, you can see the bubble growing. When it starts out orange as it's hot, and it'll change color and get bigger because it cools off. That's how I think of it. And oh, looks like they've lit a Cyno. So Army of Mango or somebody has tried to trap these and then lit a Cyno. And yeah, Brave Dreads just arriving. Let me see if I visualize that properly. Scratch the Dreads. I may have seen them off in the distance. There, it's a better angle. So these Cerberus, the Cerberus fleet is trying to move away from the Keepstar, and it just got bubbled. We'll give that situation a second to develop. As I back out to give you context, there's the Keepstar, which, see if I can get some information on that. It is paused, so it cannot anchor until this grid is fully controlled by the blue team, the Anaconda Coalition. And there are lots of groups. You can see for every red or orange group, there's a group on top of it. Over here, we have a couple of other fleets, another Cerberus fleet from the Imperium, and that is being taken on by looks like a Harpy fleet, which are actually smaller ships. Those are assault frigates. And speed and tracking are important in this kind of a fight. Yeah, reading Apollo's comments here in chat, goons have lost 330 billion to Anaconda Coalition 7.5 billion. It's a landslide, but this isn't really about ISK as much as it is about objective. Still, if you can avoid losing a lot of ISK these days, that's probably a good thing, considering that prices are slightly going up on ships. It looks like there's a few subcapital fights going on at the same time. Try to back out for perspective. You can see these stretched long fleets here. That's a fleet in movement. It's just really slow. So these guys here are maneuvering. They're in movement. They're following the leader at different speeds. And they are being intersected or interfered with by the blues, which jump into the middle of them. In this case, the grays down here, which are AOM. Trying to get into the middle of them, bubble them, hold them down, and then attack them. We're seeing some explosions off in the distance there that are radiating through the Keepstars. It's making the Keepstar glow. But those are probably capital explosions or battleship explosions. So I count 3 fleets, mostly Cerberuses. There's Munins. Let's check this third fleet up here. Scimitar could be anything. Yeah, that's a Munin fleet. So we have Cerberus fleets and Munin fleets out there. And over here, we left them behind. I think these are the capitals. With enough incoming fleet, you can see they're all assembling, which means they warped, but they're all going to the same area. They're all landing, basically, and it looks like they're landing on this Munin fleet. Let's go have a look at that. Great deal of activity on the subcap level here. I think right now it's dominated, this engagement's dominated by Anaconda on the capital level. As we were seeing earlier, dreads were being destroyed from Imperium by supercapitals and capitals. But now it looks like it's a subcap fight mostly. You can see here's the intersection. Let's take a closer look if we can. Again, everything's moving super slow. But yeah, this the scythe. Yeah, this Munin fleet's getting intercepted here. It looks like they just missed. What's coming in on the Munin fleet? It's, again, scimitars. So these are, oh, they look like Navy arcs. Navy. Yeah. Ogoror Navy issues. Well, that looks like a mixed fleet there. Essentially, this is cruiser on cruiser frigates. I am being warped away. I grabbed onto the wrong guy. That's hilarious. You're dragging me away from the... Quick, throw my... There we go. Oh no, he's running away too. How's that possible? There we go. That guy was warping out. I should not have attached myself to look at him. This is a massive subcap brawl. But earlier, dreadnoughts had been... dreadnoughts had been destroyed earlier. Let me try to gather some information on people on the field. Yeah, for those that wonder why my voice is so quiet, it's because it's very early here. Right, we have reported 17% on the hull. Let's have a look, see if we can verify that. This is very early in my neighborhood. Yeah, we have 10 minutes and 40 seconds on the timer. It's paused. And I don't see damage being reported. I've heard it's 17%, so it is getting... I don't see any damage registering here, but the important thing is that it's paused. It has 10 minutes to tick down. So what needs to happen is enough DPS needs to be taken off it for it to continue to count down to 0. Once it counts down to 0, it's going to enter an invulnerability phase, and this battle will be over, but it will set up possibly a second battle in 24 hours. The way to get this thing to tick all the way down to 0 for the blue team, for the Anaconda, is for them to take the damage away from it. And you do that by eliminating the enemy, eliminating its capability to do DPS. Yeah, so yeah, I just woke up, saw that there was a fight beginning. I didn't wake up for this fight. I did an alarm clock. And asked around if there were any camera people at TIS that were willing to go. And then just decided to do it myself. There was a fight last night as well. Imperium, I think, came out with the objective on that one. And I tried to get to that fight as well, but it didn't work out. It's an incredibly busy time for me, so it's hard for me to do this. And I just, I can only do this because it's so early in the morning here that nobody's awake and I don't have to do real life at the moment. So that's why you're getting this coverage. Otherwise, we have to get other camera people. Look like a lot of activity going on down there. People are zooming around. Tie-dyed looks like it's pretty close to, yeah, it's at 10%, but it's moving fairly well. I heard yesterday there was some pretty ugly server problems again. I don't know what the server situation is this time. Again, we see people zooming out, and that's a common tactic. If you're getting damaged or primaried, you need to get out of range as quickly as possible. Usually the quickest way out is to warp out if you're not already interdicted or bubbled or tackled in some way. So that's why you might see people zooming around. So they zoom out and zoom back in. That's one of the first tactics you learn as a nullsec pilot. All right. It looks like AOM did interdict this Cerberus fleet. Kind of interested in that because that is AOM. It looks like there's three different areas where fleets or subcap fleets are fighting. But what I want to see is what damage is being applied to the structure that's keeping it locked up where it can't tick away to safety. I think that's really the objective, and I think it might be this combination of subcap fleets here. You can see this one is being completely overwhelmed. Imperium is very outnumbered in this fight. That's why you see so many orange guys. See these two guys? They're just warping out because they got primaried or they were taking too much damage. And you're seeing a lot more of them fly away individually than you are the blue team. So that tells me that blue team is applying damage to more targets, or basically running off the Imperium fleets, or at least individual pilots. They run off and then they come back, and they run off and they come back. But you don't see whole fleets moving, you see individuals, which is interesting. That looks like a capital ship just left. That giant streak you saw there. Don't think anybody's leaving this fight that wants to be in it. Up here on this perch, what do we have? Reconnaissance. So these will be, yeah, capitals. And take a look at the capital situation. More fresh bubbles coming up, by the way. As they try to trap, you see these string of bubbles. The Anaconda is trying to catch the moving Imperium fleets. That's why they're bubbled in succession there. We know these areas here where the subcaps are, but these blue, the ones that you can actually see, this is a pretty strong dominance of capital power by Anaconda. The only capitals for the Imperium up here now. We'll take a look at some of these dreads. These are revelations. It doesn't look like the commitment to drop more caps has happened on behalf of Imperium, but it could be early in this fight. So we're now looking at the top-down view of the keep stars you can see here. And we're looking at, that's a nag from Goonswarm. There's about 5 others, couple nags, 3, 4 nags, a revelation, and I bet you this is a revelation. Yep. It's from Israd. We know that corporation from Goonswarm. Channeling looks like the name. A few more supers here. Ooh, looks like that. A nag just probably went up in flames. These are being attacked by dreadnoughts. These are Phoenixes, which is interesting. That's a shield-based Kaldari missile boat, or a dreadnought. Oops, there goes another nag. I think that was taken out probably by these that are within. Yeah, more Phoenixes and Naglfars. Yeah, those are within brawling range. Oh, we're going to see a blue explosion. Those are always cool. Again, we missed the fight last night. Apologize for that. Imperium, I think, walked away with the victory there. Servers were a little unstable. I think both sides said that. This is a huge and important fight. Again, the objective is to anchor this Keepstar. Fraternity started it just after downtime, I believe. It's important because of the jump range that this has inside of Delve. It covers almost 70% of Delve. So from this perch, they could really capitalize on any error that Imperium has or gets into, and vice versa as well. But again, if you're attacking, this gives you a nice perch to attack Delve or run sorties into it. So this is very important. This is NPC Delve, so there's no Sov here. The people who own this area are the Blood Raiders. You can see their little symbol here. I remember at the beginning of the war, the Imperium was actually daring Anaconda Coalition to come into NPC Delve. And I think this is what Imperium had in mind, that they would resist any incursions into Delve. You see explosion down here starting. You see the shock waves. That looks like a capital ship. When the sky lights up, it's a big ship, so that's probably a capital. Oh, we see Titans coming in. These are Fraternity Titans. Let's have a look. Looked like a Fraternity avatar. Let's see. Yeah, these are coming in just now. 4 avatars. NC avatars are already in. These are from Fraternity. Account 4. There's more on the way. You can see the orange lights that are glowing here are new. Okay, those are logistics ships. Force auxiliaries coming in with them, and it looks like they're taking a good bounce. Not that it matters in this fight, but those are just coming in. Let's have a look at that with a little more beauty. Oops. Just missed it. Yeah, you can see them. These are all bouncing. You can see them kind of drifting. And that doesn't matter in this case, but that can be very deadly for a super capital pilot. If they are alone, for instance, and they drift away from a structure's safety tether, they can be tackled and destroyed. So in this situation, it doesn't matter. Fraternity Keepstar being anchored. We're looking at this in FW. Is it FWST? Let me have a look. Yeah, FWST-8, that's NPC Delve. This is a really good range for Anaconda to constrict Delve. Let's back out a little. That looked like some kind of a boost. Oh, that avatar is, I believe that's a Doomsday Lance. Let's see what it's trying to do. Yeah. Try to get a look at what it's targeting. It looks like it's clearing dreads. Excuse the wrong buttons being hit. Oh, triple lance. Oh, double lance. This looks like it's firing at something else. Oh. More ships coming in. Sorry, it's hard to maneuver. Look at that. Oh. Yeah, it's lancing probably a dread. So they're looking to clear dreads. 2 more avatars come in, I presume, from Fraternity. That's some massive firepower now. They're trying to clear DPS off this Keepstar. I think at this point it's been decided that it's safe for more Titans to drop to clear those dreads. And so that's probably a sign of confidence. We're now looking at another avatar. Getting close to 8 avatars. Remember, NC Dot has about 10 avatars in here already. So Titans are dropping, not the hammer, but Titans. So Doomsdays went off, but now you're seeing just typical typical turrets. Okay, so word that Goonswarm's warping some dreads near the bottom. Let's see if we can have a look. Right now, these looks like another lance. That range is I believe is that a lance? I can't tell. So on the Keepstar, you have Fraternity Titans dropping. They continue to drop. They're up to about 9. Here you have. Let's see if we can take a closer look. You have a lot of dreads. Sorry, a lot of Titans. Well, maybe not. It looks like it's mixed in with a lot of force auxiliaries in here in the middle that create the core of that. But I count at least 5 avatars, not 6. Those would be NC avatars. You can see there's some bubbles going up here. Looks like they're trying to. Let's go have a look at that. If I turn on my overview, we'll be able to see what kind of ships those are. So I'll turn that on, but I bet they're subcapitals. This is a ball of Titans that was dropped initially to clear dreads. We saw Fraternity is still in the process of dropping more. You can see the avatars are firing up here. I believe those are let's see if I can get to this ship before it blows up. These are going to be dreadnoughts for the Imperium. Oh, those are giant blasts. This is a Doomsday down here. You can see. Let's have a close look at it. It's a dramatic. Why not? More Titans dropping. You can see the Doomsday being fired. A hell of a visual. It's like melting gold. That's Fraternity. And it's cool off phase. You can see it's smoking. It's crazy. Crazy beautiful graphics from CCP. It looks like this Doomsday is about to go off. We'll take a look. So these things are dropping and then just Doomsday. Try to get a look on that second Doomsday. There it goes. Well, we know it's aimed at dreadnoughts above. There was only like 4 that I counted, but you can see another Doomsday. There's double Doomsdays going on here. And that one is gearing up. Let's have a look at that one. There it is. Oh no, that one, it looks like it's shutting. No, here it goes. Triple Doomsday. These are Fraternity Titans, avatars with new Doomsday animation. Just looks terrific. You can see it in slow motion gearing up to blast. Sorry, it's hard to get you a good picture here. So what I can tell is it looks like Fraternity dropped a few Titans to get the job done faster. They want to take the DPS off this Keepstar. They want this thing anchored. There's some There's some dreads up there that just took a bunch of doomsdays. Those things are probably dead, gone. And they did multiple doomsdays. So yeah, I think those dreads are probably gone. Let's take a look at our capital overview. Now this is caps only, and you can see there's no more red up here. There's no more orange or red. There is just one guy left. He's right here. That is a Naglfar from Amok. I'll take a look at him before he gets vaporized, really, because there's a lot of firepower on the field. And this guy's being taken out by other capitals, looks like. It looks like it's a shield Naglfar. You can tell by that blue radiating light over it. This is being taken out by, it looks like, a number of autocannons. That's just little dotted lines that represent charges. Here's a look. It looks like a fellow Naglfar just exploded over there. I'm not sure, but this is one of the last dreads on the field. So the field is being cleared of capitals. So this is clearly Anaconda's dominance of this engagement on the capital level. We saw there were 3 different fleet engagements for the sub-capital level, which we'll look at next. Just want to see if we can. There's a ton of fire coming in on this guy Mazina from Amok. Keepstar is not dead. Keepstar is paused. It was anchoring, and there's still DPS being applied. This is becoming less and less every few minutes. The firing looks like it's paused on this. We'll get back to the Keepstar and get a status update on it in just a second. Right now, it's a very lopsided fight. The Imperium is losing over 300 billion, probably mostly in these dreadnoughts. It's really not damaged much because its objective isn't to damage other fleets, it's to destroy that Keepstar. Yeah, so the reason the firepower stopped on this, remember that stream of bullets going into it and lasers stopped a few minutes ago, it's because it was already dead. And now we're seeing the animation of this Amok Naglfar explode. Try to get you a better view of it. Again, you can see the animation has come a long way since the early days of EVE Online. You see micro explosions happening all over this giant dreadnought, which will eventually turn into an all-engulfing explosion and shockwave. Wow, so the 450 billion in damages. Again, the Imperium is not known for needing ISK. When they asked their former players for help, a lot of money came in from one player alone. Something like 2 or 3 trillion came in. But that money is finite. And you don't want to lose $500 million if you don't have to. So we're climbing up to $500 million. Sorry, $500 billion, 480 billion right now. It doesn't look like the Imperium is committing more forces at this moment, but we did hear that Titans were. Here comes the explosion. We did hear that Titans were getting into position to jump in. And that's a prudent move. That Naglfar from Amok destroyed. Shockwave. This is one of the last capital ships trying to prevent that Keepstar from anchoring. I'm going to take a moment to salute that dreadnought pilot for valor. Thanks, Nick. We're going to take a look at more Imperium dreadnoughts below. They're down here. There's like a lot more. So let's go have a look. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, we definitely have some. They're spread out. I'm trying to get you a picture so you can see them in relationship. They're below the Keepstar. There's the Keepstar. We're far below it now. We were above it. Now we're below it. I'm seeing bombs used, but I don't see where or how effective they are. But we do know that the subcapital fleet is raging. We'll have a quick look at that now. You'll see a lot more colors come on the screen as more combatants are visible. I'm going to zoom out so you can get an appreciation for how many fleets. I mean, if we're looking at just the numbers, it's hard to tell. Remember I said earlier that the subcapital fleets were flying out because they were, well, this is a revelation. So we got more dreads coming in. This is good. Shows commitment on the side of Imperium to hold this Keepstar and possibly damage it. I believe this is a revelation too. Let's see if I can get it. No, it's a caracal. What? I gotta learn my shapes better. That's just caracal. Ooh, this is Bastion. Okay, let's try to get a picture of, okay, there they are. This is, yeah, let's go back into those dreadnoughts. Isolate capitals. More Naglfars. There's a bomb exploding, I believe. Oh no, that's a bubble. Shooting from below the Keepstar. Trying to apply damage. Ooh, this guy's in trouble, it looks like. Well, they're being bubbled because these looks like these just came in. So they're trying to make sure they don't get out. I don't think there's any intention for these to ever leave. They're coming into an overwhelming situation, trying to keep damage applied to that Keepstar. I think they're trying to drag this fight out as long as possible, hoping for reinforcements in the European time zone. If they can, and this is total speculation, but this fight started right after downtime, which means there is no timeout. This fight is going to continue until one side gives up, withdraws, or is overwhelmed for about 24 hours. So the Imperium, what they may be doing is just keeping this structure anchored as long as possible, because as the day goes on, they may be betting that they get more reinforcements. But right now, they're totally overmatched as far as numbers go. The other psychological aspect of this is to say that no structure being dropped is going to be an easy structure being dropped. So you may win this one, but it's going to take you a ton of time. It's going to take you huge effort. I'll try to get you more information. Yeah, we have more dreads entering the system. And that piece of intel I just got. So Imperium is putting in more dreads. We've seen those dreads. Unfortunately, only a few of them. You can see this revelation here is losing the battle to stay alive. Its hull is being breached. You can see all the explosions radiating from it. You still have this Naglfar. And another revelation firing away. It's also taking in a ton of lasers from other ships. Oh, it's starting to be early here, so I'm not sure how much longer I can commentate, so I'll stay on as long as I can. I'm gonna bring you visuals. There's an explosion, the shockwave. Oh, that revelation. I'm jumping into Talking in Station's Discord. I'll be in my own channel. Join me there if you want to help commentate. Yeah, if Ron USMC wakes up, he does a tremendously good job of covering fights. I'll gladly raid him. Let me know. He was actually up for last night's fight, I believe. I'll bring you more information in just a second. I think the shockwaves there just about spent, but these dreadnoughts are all going up now. You can see this Naglfar is starting to light up. These dreads just arrived. You can see that a revelation is also starting to light up. It's just too hot in here for dreads to live long. And I think the game plan for Imperium here is to either drag on the fight to make it painful, or to wait for reinforcements, but they are severely outnumbered. And if they do not resist this Keepstar, then Anaconda has a further base from which to constrict Delve over time. And the idea isn't to destroy so many ships that the Imperium retreats and abandons their territory. That's a lot to ask. think the game plan from Anaconda is to do just what Anacondas do, and that is to wrap around and constrict over time, slowly, the membership's ability to have fun doing anything meaningful other than fighting. And if they have it their way, fighting and losing. So that's a bad situation for any player to log in, not to be able to do any of the growth gameplay. In other words, harvesting or ratting or even just roaming around or patrolling. And if you do the only thing available to you, which is to fight, and you're not winning victories, that becomes demoralizing. So it's a time-honored strategy, but you can really only do it when you have an overwhelming number of pilots, which they do. We're seeing double explosions here from dreadnoughts. Oh, look at those auto cannons firing from Naglfar. It's putting damage on that Keepstar that's trying to anchor. We've seen a bunch of explosions, and I'm sure the people who are most interested in this fight want to see more of the tactical and strategic moves. So after this beauty shot of shockwaves, dual shockwaves, we'll back out. I love the Naglfar there shooting the auto cannons. Situation now is Fraternity is anchoring a Keepstar. The Keepstar is in NPC Delve, which gives the Anaconda good range into Delve, good jump range, which allows them to surprise attack and ambush. That has to be stopped by the Imperium, so they're in here fighting to stop it. They've dropped dreads, as you can see, this revelation firing upon the Keepstar. Above, these are below these dreadnoughts. And 3 out of the 5 dreads have been destroyed. They're dropping multiple waves of dreadnoughts. So, oh, Ron is on. Okay. I am going to do a little more, and then I'm going to send you over to Ron USMC, who does a great job with these fights. Although it's hard to tell if this battle is wrapped up. But if we're looking at the situation now, the capital supremacy is definitely on the side of the... Whoa! Those are new Titans that are dropping in. Let's go have a look. Yeah, these are Ragnaroks. So interesting. So you see Anaconda has been dropping batches of Titans. Now, my first instinct was NC dropped just a handful of Titans, and I believe that was a dare. I believe that was bait. It was to help clean off Dreadnoughts, because the answer to Dreadnoughts is Titans. They can Doomsday and take the damage, take those Dreadnoughts off the table quickly. But to not drop all of them is prudent. You want to like escalate slowly. Always have a bit more to drop, unless you need to go all in on a situation. And sometimes groups will go all in on a situation to intimidate anybody else from getting involved. But these two groups are too big for that intimidation to work as well as it does when you're fighting a small group that can't possibly overcome you. So I think there's some hesitation to drop everything at once, but also it might be prudent to just drop what you need to clear dreads. And so now, as the Imperium drops dreads a few at a time and scattered, as you can see, it looks like the answer to that from Anaconda is going to be to drop Titans to clear those dreads faster than a subcapital fleet could. You see there's more dreads being dropped. Sorry, more Titans being dropped. Okay, interesting. It looks like we're hearing that a second keep star may be dropping. It's not on grid that I can see, but intel reports are there might be a second keep star being dropping. That would be interesting. That would be insurance. That means that attacking this one keep star wouldn't necessarily be advantageous. If there's a second keep star, the super capitals can split up between them, which would essentially allow them, I think it would allow them to have just stronger ties into this system. You destroy one keep star, if you're lucky enough to do it, you still have to overcome a second one. And let me back out so you can see this a bit better. Be somewhat demoralizing when you have this opportunity, so much firepower here protecting the environment. It might be a good time to drop a second one. See, on the cap level, Imperium's only dropping enough dreadnoughts to try to keep this thing paused, trying to frustrate the process. But capital supremacy clearly belongs to Anaconda here. See if I can get an updated battle report to let you know who's on, how many people are on either side. Oh yeah, the total ISK loss for Imperium is 480 billion, 484 billion. They have 1,200 pilots on the field, but the Anaconda Coalition has 2,000. So it's a 2-to-1. Multiple caps have been dropped. Mostly now PanFam's in there in a strong way. Yeah, we're not really looking at the ISK efficiency. That's 95% efficiency for Anaconda, which is fantastic. It's lopsided, really. Normally you get 60-40 if it's a good fight. So this is not necessarily a good fight for ISK, and that's why we're not really paying attention to that. But half a trillion, 400, close to 500 billion ISK in loss is not nothing. It's also not the deciding factor in this kind of a situation. That Keepstar is a strategic asset. Placing it in this system in NPC Delve is very important.
Hey, Marty.
Oh, hey, Caleb, how you doing? But it's not an issue of money. I don't think money is going to chase anybody out of this moment. This is an issue of that strategic objective. I don't know Imperium's plan, but I believe it's to do everything they can. They're scraping at trying to keep that Keepstar from anchoring, and they're doing a good job so far. This thing anchored more than an hour ago. Coming into a big fight, FWST. This is a bold move. Anaconda's putting in a Keepstar in NPC Delve with really great jump range into the rest of Delve. Okay, we see more Titans dropping from the... Wow, Brave Titans. Brave Titans. What does this game come to? No offense, but Brave were like everybody's scrappy little brother. And now they're all grown up. Yeah, Caleb, we're just covering something that started an hour ago, hour and a half. Actually getting close to 2 hours. I've been at this longer than I thought.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I wasn't communicating with you. I was communicating with the stream. Yeah, we're just covering this battle in FWST-8. Caleb, so you know. So
Yeah, I'm
Keepstar
looking
drop.
at it now. It's just that my audio was a bit of a mess. For some reason, I couldn't hear you.
I see Doomsday is going off. You see a long yellow Doomsday led to. Looks like is that Doomsday? I don't know. I just missed it if it was. Those dreads are, looks like they're being taken off the field. Pretty good clip. We're moving at 10% normal time.
Wow. How many in system?
I haven't looked. Let's see. It's not really that kind of fight, but there's 3,700. Wow, that's a lot. There's a lot of subcaps fighting it out and stuff, but this is really like an issue of Titans clearing dreads. Super capital dominance right now is Anacondas, but that Keepstar looks like it's not anchoring yet. So the Imperium is accomplishing what they want to do. Those multiple explosions down there, I believe, are dreadnoughts that were damaged a few minutes ago. They're just going up in multiple shockwaves. What's going on over here? I haven't seen that light before. Something weird's happening in there. Is that just the sun? Wild. I've been indoors so long, I forgot what the sun looked like.
For your information, our local sun, the one outside in real life, it's a yellow giant.
Oh, Triglavian target, huh?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to wrap up now. I want to say thanks everybody who's been watching. I'm going to go ahead and send you over to Ron, who will continue the coverage on his channel. He does really good coverage with 3D. So we'll send you over there in just a second.
CCP's got one too, by the way, if you want to send them there instead.
No commentary on CCPs, though.
Yeah, there's 2,200 viewers, though.
Why does Ron have 2 channels up? That's interesting. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me and looking at this battle. If it, for some reason, continues to boil slowly and turns into a much bigger engagement with a bigger commitment from the Imperium, we'll come back on and do some more commentary. But for now, it looks like it's winding down. I think it's a matter of time before the fraternity keeps our anchors. It's just 2-to-1 odds right now with super cap dominance projected by Anaconda. It just looks really good for that Keepstar. If there's a second one anchoring, that'll be interesting. But you can see all that with Ron, and we'll let you know today on the Talking in Stations news show what happened here. Take care. Gonna let a few more people grab onto this raid. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
And it's out.